Hello everyone, and welcome to another beer review. Oh dear. Right, we're doing another dark beer today, and this is a beer that I actually bought in Estonia because we're in Tallinn at the moment. And still in the baby glasses, look. But I think I've done it to myself again, not really reading the label. In fact, when I bought these beers, I was in a bit of a rush because I wasn't going to buy any beers at the time. We were just in this just to get quick provisions when we arrived here, and she says, "Oh no, I'll get beers tomorrow." Because we don't quickly get beers, quickly go and get some. So I did. I thought, oh, I might as well. I'm here because I'm a lazy bugger. And oh dear. Now the problem is this isn't in Russian. This is in Estonian, but the names are the same, the words are the same, even though, of course, this is in Western kind of alphabet, Roman. Whereas in Russians they use the Cyrillic alphabet, but the words are the same, basically. Yeah, bollocks. And I didn't look. So this is a 6%, it's half a litre. All these are basically under €2. I think most of them are roughly about €1.69. €1.69? €1.69. Jesus, £1. I'm losing the plot. But I bought a Saku. Saku is that was originally formed in 1820s. So it was, and what does it really say? I mean, obviously Saku is Estonian, but this one, as you can see, it's a dark beer. But if you don't know Estonian or you don't know Russian, it says Appelsini I Shokoladny, right? Or Shokoladi. So Appelsine is orange, and chocolate or chocolate is chocolate. So I've got the equivalent of a fucking Terry's chocolate orange. And if I'd picked up on that, I just wasn't paying attention. I just really wasn't, because I was actually really looking at the porters at the time. I thought, you wait to see the next one, because this isn't the only one I did. I did something similar, and I got another dark beer. And yeah, I think it's even worse than the chocolate orange. What? So anyway, it's 6%. Should we just crack it open and see if it poisons me? What a twat. I am a twat. Really. I should pay more attention, but God. Probably get something else going on, and it's a case I never get to breathe, relax, and concentrate. It never seems to fucking happen half the bloody time of me. Right, there we go, baby glass, big bottle. I'm not going to smell it just now. Just get it poured, girl. Get it poured, seriously. And as you can see, it's a very darky beer. So yes. Nice tanned head, probably be roughly about a finger, and yes, this is a kind of ruby colour. You can see it's a kind of ruby. So. And does it say anything else? It just says Tume. I don't know what Tume means. But yes, Appelsini I Shokoladi. Smell wise. Oh God. Is that false flavours I'm getting? I'm getting a smell of, not really getting malt, I'm getting a kind of slight sweetness, a slight kind of chocolate-esque kind of smell, maybe slight vanilla tones as well. Does not smell particularly natural. It smells like one of these Christmas bloody stouts or porters you get, from M&S and the Co-op and Sainsbury's and all that. All them sickening bottles of sweet piss. that you just don't want. Anyway, let's see. Right. Yeah, there's chocolate flavour in there. It's not the most natural. Same with a little bit of orange, probably not so natural either. I'm sure it's supported by our good friend, the chemical flavour. But it's not sweet. It doesn't have that sweetness, so it's not as sickening and not kind of overpowering. It is there. There isn't too much of it, but it is there. But it's not so bad. It's not what I'm wanting. It's certainly not what I'm looking for in a beer, but it's not so bad than what you get in the UK with these type of kind of false chemical flavours. And overall, it's actually not too bad. Actually, it's not too bad. It's not the worst. Certainly not the best, because I'm like Slurpy Dave in this. I agree that beers should be done naturally. If you can't get the flavours you want out of the ingredients, then it's maybe these flavours you shouldn't get. I mean, this is a situation. Just because you want certain flavours in a beer, if you can't get them naturally, maybe it's nature's way of saying you don't need them. Simple as that. Just because you want them doesn't mean you should get them. And listen to that. But there's a lot of brewers that know fucking better, unfortunately, and they think, well, fine, if I can't get it naturally, I'll add my own shit to it, and I'm not really into that. I don't agree with that. If you can't get it naturally, then tough shit, do without. It's not meant to be there. But this isn't bad. I mean, it's not my first choice, it's not what I want, and I should have fucking paid attention and I didn't, so it's my own fault. But it's actually quite nice. It's not too bad. But for this type of beer, I mean, most of them are absolutely undrinkable and pour it down the sink. To me, at least this is drinkable, but not the type of thing I'm really wanting. But if you're into these type of things and you like these kind of dark beers with a little bit of kind of additional accent flavours that, let's be totally honest, aren't really natural, then you could do worse than this. Oh, right. Let's break down these flavours before we go too crazy. Right. Start off, you get a bit of malt and a little bit of sweetness. You don't really get the grain. What you get is this kind of start of this kind of chocolate flavour at the front of the mouth. So it comes in quite early. So you're getting a bit of malt, a little bit of sweetness, not too much, not crazily sweet, but a little bit of sweetness. And then you start getting these little tones of the dark chocolate. But you're not really getting bitter tones. You're just getting little tones of dark chocolate, as in kind of slightly Bourneville kind of dark chocolate. And you know when you've tasted Bourneville, you think, yeah, it's not really dark chocolate, is it? It's not really, oh, there's plenty of cocoa in that, isn't there? No, you're not getting that. You're getting that kind of, well, it tastes like dark chocolate, but it's not really kind of dark chocolate flavour, you know. It tastes like it, but it doesn't taste of it, you know. And that's what you're getting there. You're getting these tastes of kind of dark chocolate, but it tastes like dark chocolate, doesn't taste of dark chocolate. And there's your first problem. And that kind of moves up into the kind of mid-tongue, where you're starting to get in the main part, the kind of first half of the mid-tongue, you've got this kind of malty sweetness. But again, not too much sweetness. It's not sickening that type of stuff. It's a nice controlled level of it. Not really that sweet at all. And this kind of taste of dark chocolate. And then you start getting little kind of accent coming through, kind of midway through the mid-tongue of it tastes like oranges. I mean, and it's a kind of mixture of, you imagine it's a case as though you've got, somebody's taken an orange and they put it in the blender and whipped it up, peeled the whole fucking lot, you know, whizzed it up until it's completely, you know, liquidized, and then pours it and then tastes it. So you're just getting the odd little kind of lighter, sweeter kind of orange accents, but you're also getting some slight kind of pithy, slightly bitter orange accents. And with that kind of taste like dark chocolate, it is giving you a slightly, well, imagine it is kind of similar to a Terry's chocolate orange, but not as sweet. But I suppose that's one good thing. And there's nothing really in the back end. That's kind of slightly kind of chocolate and kind of orange kind of concoction with a little bit of malt and a little bit of sweetness just kind of peters out at the back of the mouth and into the aftertaste, and doesn't really linger very much, which, trust me, that's a good thing. Yeah. It's one of these fantasy beers, as I call them, because at the end of the day, they've got no real connection with reality, because it's living a fantasy land, because you're adding flavours that really shouldn't be there, because you can't really get them naturally, especially to that kind of intensity. So, what would I give this out of 10? There's a question. It's okay. It's not my cup of tea. I don't agree with adding kind of false flavours to beers. It's not really for me. If I'm having a bit of fun and things like this, and I'm just mucking about with brewing and all that, and I'm not taking it serious, I don't want to brew a beer with silly flavours. But I don't mind maybe doing, I've done things with aging, we've done kind of strange kind of cider kind of kind of concoctions with passion fruit and silly things and that type of stuff, using Russian turbo yeast and apple juice and things like this. Yeah, we've done it with, was it passion fruit? What was it? I can't even remember the other ones. Was it mango or something? I think it was mango. But I don't mind doing that. But again, at least I'm not adding false flavours. Everyone was actually from the fruit. So when I actually did the actual fermentation, it was fermenting with the actual fruit pulp in there with it, and any flavours it picked up basically came from the fruit. I didn't add any false or chemical flavours. This does feel it has a little bit of a chemical flavour to it. Again, not the worst, not the bad, definitely not the brilliant, but not the worst. And one of the best things is it's not overly sweet, so that also helps to kind of tone it down and make it a lot more palatable. But if I'm brewing a beer, if I'm using proper beer ingredients, then that's all I want to use. I do not want to add even fruit or anything else to it. I just want the grains, the hops, the water, the yeast, that type of thing. I don't even want to add additional sugars if I don't have to, especially if I'm brewing myself. So that's what it comes down to. So no, it's not what I want, it's not what I agree with, but other people do like these kind of style of beers and things, and it is taste from what I can get. I mean, I'm not picking up that many beer flavours because there's a lot of other flavours in the way, but overall, from what I'm getting beer flavours, they seem quite nice. And they've probably been quite nice just to leave them alone and just let them flourish themselves. But apparently, somebody thought better of it and thought, what we need to do is add some chocolate flavours and orange flavours, because that's what it needs. That's what it needs to really pep it up and make it wonderful. Yeah, anyway. Right, out of 10 would I give it? It's a bit of a waste of a good beer, because it could have been a good beer just probably by itself, which is disappointing. What else was disappointing is I didn't read the fucking bottle when I picked it up off the shelf properly, because I wasn't really concentrating, because I was thinking, well, she's at the till, I'll quickly grab 4 bottles and fuck off to the till, basically. That's what I would do. So yeah, Yeah. Oh God, what to give it? But I'm going to be fair. It's not my cup of tea, but it might be other people's. I'm not going to really shit all over it because there's a hell of a lot worse I've tried with these type of supposed kind of similar flavours. A heck of a lot worse. And I'm not picking up the alcohol. It's supposed to be 6%, and I'm not picking up the alcohol either. So I'm going to give this a 4 out of 10. 4 out of 10. Would I recommend it? Well, my view is, if you see it and you recognise the label from this video, then if you like kind of orange and chocolate flavours in your beer, and it is a 6% beer, so there's a bit of richness there as well, then give it a go. It's up to you. I wouldn't buy it again, but I don't like these type of flavours in beers anyway. And I'll be totally honest, if I'd noticed in the label, I wouldn't have bought this beer in the first place. So I'm not recommending it, but if you like this type of beer and you're into these type of flavours, or you like a bit of kind of unusual flavours in your beer, then give us a go, because it'll probably be a lot better than what you've maybe previously tasted in the UK, because it's not as sweet, and that makes it by itself a bit more palatable than normally these beers would be. So it's 6%, it's 500ml, it's under €2. It's orange and chocolate flavours. Thanks for watching. Cheers, and bye for now.